Welcome to the Prophecy Club. Our topic today is, do prophecies say that America and Israel are about to go to war with Iran? I think that's very important. Next question is this the calm before the storm? Now, got a couple of things I'm going to say before we get started today. First of all, a very, very big thank you. I asked you to help. We're about to go into the red. You helped, and we're up and going again. So thank you very much for your help. Also, a couple of changes. No, we did not go into the red, but I'm going to reduce the time I spend talking about our sponsors because, frankly, there ain't much coming in from the sponsors. So if there isn't much coming in from the sponsors, why waste my time and your time? Also, so since they're not working so well anyway, what I'm going to do is switch to just simply asking for your help. But, I'm not going to be begging. I'm not going to be asking it every program. I'm not going to beat you to death. I'm going to wait until we really need it. And then when I ask, you will know we really need it. I'm not going to ask for it in every program. But when we need it, we really need it. And I believe you will help us. So when I ask, it will be needed to keep us out of the red. Okay, so a couple of interesting emails which kind of tie in what we're going to talk about today. First of all, I emailed Dana Coverstone, and I said, what do you think is going on spiritually now? During the Biden presidency, many were getting warnings, all kinds of dreams, visions, angel visits, everything. But of late, they've almost stopped. Your opinion, please. One sentence, he said, what we were warning is just about to hit, and I agree. See, everybody is saying, oh, well, Trump's going to fix everything. We got Trump in now. There's nothing to worry about. That's not what the people that hear from God are saying. So then I emailed Michael Snyder. Michael, what do you think is going on spiritually? During the Biden presidency, about the same thing. And now all of the warnings have just kind of stopped. Your opinion, please. He says, it does seem like prophetic warnings have gotten really quiet. And support for prophetic ministries is down all over the place. We agree, okay? Why? Because Trump's going to fix everything. We don't need prophecy. We don't need these ministers warning us and telling us what's coming, all this negativity stuff, which is really ironic because we're living in highly prophetic times. In other words, like I've been saying, I don't think we're further from trouble. Excuse me. I don't think we're further from trouble. I think we're closer to trouble. And that's what he's basically saying too. Perhaps once the situation with Iran explodes, people will start to understand. Well, that kind of brings me to the next big point today. So, is America and Israel about to attack Iran? Now, we've covered this many times, but let me show you something in here. I'm about to show you 3 prophecies back to back that are going to answer that question. And they're from 2 different people, but I could show you another one, but I'm not going to pull it up. But anyway, here's the point. Okay, so I've covered this many times, but this is very important. 2002, my wife had a dream. She was told that Arafat would go into the hospital. Didn't happen for 2 years, but 2 years later, 11/11/04, 3:30 a.m., he died in the hospital just like she was told. Now, what makes that interesting is because at the time, Arafat was not allowed outside of his compound. So to make a prophecy that he's going to die in the hospital is very risky, but it came to pass. Now, the way prophecies work is you don't get part of it is true and part of it is not true. If part of it is true, all of it is true. So in that, she got the first of these 6 points correct. I say she just repeated what the Lord told her. Then we can count on the next ones. All right, now, what are they? Israel will give the Palestinians a state. Now, in yesterday's program, basically the whole program was talking about, okay, I thought that maybe the Palestinian state was not going to happen this year, but now I gave you some other articles that says, oh, well, yes, maybe it is going to happen this year, but I'm going to show you. Actually, I don't think, and I'm going to show you why, I don't think the Palestinian state is coming this year. I know, sometimes it looks like it is. Sometimes it looks like it's far away, but I'm going to show you why I don't think it's coming this year now. I saw something, in other words. Number 3, the Palestinian state be a temporary measure to allow the Israelis time to strengthen their military. Then oil will be discovered in Israel. It's massive amounts of oil. And then after the Palestinian state, after the military is strengthened, after oil is discovered, the oil makes the Jews willing to fight for the land, then Israel and America will go against most of the rest of the Arab world. Now, that can't happen this year. Look at it. Can't happen this year. Now let's go on to the next one. So this is 2002, this is 2006. This was the audible voice of God. What she heard in the night, she first heard Israel refuses help to America. She said that was an audible voice she heard in their ear. Then that woke her up, and then she heard the rest of them in her spirit. Now, I've heard the audible voice, and I've heard it in my spirit, and sometimes it's hard to tell the difference because you're still hearing English words. You just have to discern, did that come in through my ear, or did I hear it in my heart? Because sometimes, frankly, it's hard to tell the difference. But I don't think Israel refused to help America makes sense to me that's first. But I just want to let you know that's the first thing she heard. This is the order I think that they'll be fulfilled in, but I also want to say it may not be the order. Okay, so, and here's another thing. See that first word up there, number 1, Omer? See, she did not see the word spelled. She only heard the voice speak it. So we do not know if that is Omer, as in the counting of the Omer, as in the 49 days between first fruits and Pentecost, or if that's Ehud Omer, which is spelled O-H-L-M-E-R-T. O-H-L-M-E-R-T. But I've heard them say it when we're in Israel, and they pronounce it Omer. Okay? That's the way it's. So we don't know whether that's Omer ushers in Palestinian state, the counting of the Omer, or Ehud Omer. We don't know. But we do know that it'll sound like Omer ushers in Palestinian state. Then it makes sense to me the next thing would be catastrophe hits America. One of America's greatest times of need, America begs for the help from the world. Israel refuses help. Then, why? Well, let's look at it. So, first of all, America is hit. That's probably the catastrophe, is probably the big earthquake, the New Madrid earthquake we've been hearing about since 2010. Of course, we've been hearing about earthquakes in California for a long time, but I'm talking about the New Madrid earthquake. We've been hearing about that from Shane Warren since 2010. That would be the catastrophe hits America, my opinion. And as a result, so America is down on her knees, not praying, unfortunately, but strength-wise. And then Israel refuses help to America. So all the Arabs say, America might not protect Israel now because America just got hit with a giant earthquake, split America from the Great Lakes all the way down to the Gulf of Mexico. And then Israel just refused help to America. So if America's not going to come to Israel's help, this might be the time to hit Israel. See what I'm saying? So this is the second thing, and I got 3 of them. The second thing that says, no, we're not about to go to war with the Arabs. Well, wait a minute, Stan. Is it possible for America to just attack Iran and take out their nuclear development, their nuclear bomb-making materials? Well, that's possible in theory, but Moscow has said that if we attack Israel, it will be a catastrophe. Other times, Moscow has said if you attack Tehran, it will be considered to be an attack on Moscow, and we will respond. Now, I think Putin has got hypersonic missiles, and for the last, since 1912, when the October Revolution took place. Ever since then, God has kept Russia in second place. Has always given America the technological advantage comes to military. This is the first time in all of those times that Russia has the advantage, And I think that's potent. I think Putin, I think his finger is itching. He can't wait to push the button. He can't wait to show America that he is stronger. I think that he wants to show everybody he rules the world. And you remember that the angel spoke to Demetrius, said the fall of America will start with an internal revolution in America started by the communists. Some of the people will start fighting against the government. The government will be busy with internal problems. Then from the oceans, Russia, Cuba, Nicaragua, Central America, Mexico, and two of the countries will attack and defeat America in 1 hour. Then God will raise up China and Japan, many of the nations. They'll go against the Russians. Here it is, here it is. They'll defeat the Russians. They'll back the Russians to the gates of Paris, but, here's the point, but they make the Russians their leader. So if you go into Ezekiel 38 and 39, and that's Armageddon, that's the Russians and all of her Islamic buddies, along with China. Euphrates River is dried up, so that all the world then comes down to attack little Israel. It's not that they want to, God makes them. That's part of his plan. So the people that want to say that the Antichrist might be coming from America, no, this is not going to happen. He's either coming from northern Iraq, Syria, or Turkey, or Russia. Why Russia? Well, look at Ezekiel 38 and 39. That's the Russians come down to attack. Who do you think's leading them? That would probably be, but not necessarily, but probably be the Antichrist. All right, now let's go back to the point. Okay, so apparently, so here it is. It's the 9th of May. So we've got, about 3 weeks left to the counting of the Omer? If there was going to be a Palestinian state, I would think we would be hearing about it. But the problem is, we are sort of hearing about it. But according to this thing I'm about to show you, it's not time. It's not time for I'll show you. It's not time for the Palestinian state. See, the challenge is sometimes we see these prophecies, but we see them with our eyes, but we don't have the revelation in our heart. And I think I saw something, and that's what I'm trying to bring to you today. I don't think we're about to see a big war between America and the Arabs yet. Not until oil is discovered. Not until there's a two-state solution. I'll show you. Okay, let's back up. So Omer ushers in Palestinian state, catastrophe or earthquake hits America. What are America's greatest times of need? Then Israel refuses help to America. Then Israel is attacked. America sends troops. That's what, look here. See, that's what causes, see number 6 down at the bottom? Israel and America, that's it. Number 6 is number 5 on this one. Then chaos reigns as Americans protest help to Israel. Well, in 2006, America was very much for Israel. That was a little hard to believe, but now with Columbia University, Washington University, and Harvard, and these people that have allowed Muslims onto their campus, now I can easily see where there would be a lot of protests over Israel. Then she heard my voice, quoting Dimitri, the fall of America will start with an internal revolution. Now let's go to the third one. Now, I thought that I probably wouldn't bring this up again. Why? Because Chris Reed, according to reports, and I've already covered them, I'm not going to cover them again, how should I say, fell off the wagon. And now normally that's referred to as alcohol, but this wasn't alcohol. Apparently it was with some woman. But I'll show you why I think it's still of God. Can God use people that sin? Well, if he can't, then he can't use me, and probably can't use you. So does God use people that sin? Yeah, he does. He doesn't find perfect vessels. He finds broken vessels, and then he puts them back together, and he sends them right back down in the mud that they were in to pull more people out of the same mud they were in. In other words, somebody is, say, an alcoholic. Jesus saves them, gets them cleaned up. What does he do? He sends them right down to, say, Alcoholics Anonymous or into a church or something like that to help other alcoholics get set free. He does that all the time. So I'll show you why I think he's hearing from God, at least on this one, not endorsing everything he does. Okay, so this was March 25 of 2022 before the fall. He said he had an angel come to him. Now, look, you say an angel come to you and you be lying about that. As my experience, you don't live long. And I can give you a couple examples on people that aren't alive anymore that thought that they could get by with lying about stuff like that. You don't get by with that. So anyway, the angel came to him, had a $50 bill. He thought that $50 bill represented the 50 states of the United States, and I agree with him. Then he tore off a third of the bill, meaning a third of the dollar will lose its value, and then the angel started handing him newspapers. These were the headlines. Now look at this. It lines up perfectly with other things we know. I can show you Shane Warren, I can show you Dana Coverstone, I can show you Terry Bennett, Leslie Johnson. I show you, lines up, okay? Now, first one, U.S. dollar drops 30% in value. Have we seen that? The subtitle was Middle Eastern Oil Strikes Deal with China instead of the U.S. We have seen part of it because on June 9th, 2004, Saudi Arabia stopped using the dollar as a requirement to buy oil, started selling oil in the Chinese yuan. So that's partially fulfilled, but it's not fully fulfilled because we have not seen the dollar drop 30% yet, so I'm going to put an X on it. I can say, no, that hadn't happened yet. Then the next thing is a perfect storm. Inflation reaches new high. Okay, we're hearing rumors that inflation is about to go up with all the tariffs. We're saying, if it costs 25% more to get that car in the United States or that car part or whatever it is, they can't eat that. They got to pass that along. So we can see a perfect storm. We can see inflation reaches a new high, but has it happened yet? No, it hasn't. Food shortage crisis as wheat and bread imports are at a stalemate. Now, Dana Coverstone was shown that the Baltic Dry Index is dead. There's not a ship moving on the sea on the planet, which hasn't happened yet. Okay, and then Brandon Biggs said he saw that China stopped shipping anything to the United States. Now, I'm making this Friday afternoon at 2:51, and I understand that China and the United States are supposed to be talking in Switzerland Saturday and Sunday, as in tomorrow and the next couple of days. Are they going to fix everything? Are they going to kiss and make up? Everything's going to be okay? I don't think so. I don't think so because of this. So when it says food shortage crisis as wheat and bread imports are at a stalemate, we haven't seen the food crisis yet. We can see it on the horizon. It's probably at the end of the block. They're saying in the next 2 to 4 weeks, depends on where you live in America, depends on what you're trying to buy, but they're saying that there will be shortages. It's no longer a question. But has this happened yet? No, it hasn't. All right, now let's go to the next one. Then he saw the 2/3 of a $50 bill torn in half, which means the dollar falls another 30%, which is the same thing Maurice Sklar said, okay? 30, same thing Dana Coverstone saw, okay? So in the mouth of 2 or 3 witnesses, let a thing be established. Look, I'm trying to bring you truth. I'm trying to patch something together here for you that I see. Okay, so the dollar bill, 2/3 of it, is now torn in half, so the dollar falls 30%, and then finally to zero. We know from Shane Warren. Worthless as leaves blowing in the wind. All right, now let's go on to the next one. Number 4, riots and civil unrest as citizens demand entitlement checks. Well, that's what Shane Warren said. That's what Terry Bennett said. What was the other one? There was another guy specifically said entitlement checks. I got 3 of them. 3 of them that use the word entitlement checks. That's pretty specific. But have we seen people protesting, riots, civil unrest, demanding entitlement checks? We have not seen that. So I got to put another X by it. No, see? So if we have not seen those first four things, can we expect to see number 5, Israel and Palestinian 2-state solution reached? No. Not until the first, because he specifically was told this is the order of the events. Now, it does look like next year is probably the year, but again, it doesn't look like this is the year. Israeli-Palestinian two-state solution reached? No. I'm going to say no, it has not happened. Then what about the major earthquake? See, that's exactly the same thing that Shane Warren saw. He saw first a financial storm, then an earthquake in the New Madrid Fault. That's exactly the order, but we haven't seen the earthquake. So I'm going to put an X by that one too. Then America in pieces. More states secede from the nation in rebellion to the federal government. Okay, so what's going on there? They don't like what Trump is doing. They don't like Trump. They don't like the fact that he's trying to clean up this nation. He's trying to bring evildoers to justice. They do not like it. And they want to live without Christ. They want to live without Jesus. And so I can well see, when Biden was in, we were all thinking, oh, well, the good states, Texas and Florida and some of the other ones, would probably be the ones that pull out of Biden. But now we're seeing it the other way around. So do you think California would pull out of Trump? Do you think, Wisconsin, Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania? You think there's some other Maine? Right now they're in law. How many states are in lawsuit against Trump right now? What do they say, 14? Okay, so can we see states starting to secede and they just say, look it, we are not going to play your game. Trump, we hate you. We do not like what you're doing, and we are not going to put up with it. So is there a reason for the states to secede? Because it's no longer the bad guys in charge and the good guys want to secede. Instead, it's the good guys in charge, in my opinion, and the bad guys simply say, we're not going to do this. Maine, there's more, 14 states have filed suit in one way or another against Trump. I can see that, but the point is, it's not here yet. So I'm going to put an X by it. Then let's go to number 8. U.S. military takes charge as uncertainty looms over the federal government. What did Terry Bennett say? He said that the military would have to take over the government because of so many problems. What did Dimitri do when we get told? The fall of America was started with an internal revolution in America started by the communists. But has that started? No. So I'm going to put an X by that. New dollar bill, like a cell phone, with George Washington's face on it. New currency for a renewed nation. Have we seen a new currency? Have we seen them remove the Federal Reserve and the SWIFT banking system and to do away with the IRS? No, but have we seen them walking in that direction? Trump is openly saying that this guy is slow. Okay, what's his name? Heads up the Federal Reserve. He's slow. Okay, he is openly attacking the Federal Reserve. Now, the Federal Reserve is not federal. It has nothing to do with the government. It is a private banking organization that snookered our Congress when they were out on recess over the Christmas holidays. Like 13 of them got in there, whatever the law is a minimum, and like in the middle of the night, they signed a piece of paper that started the Federal Reserve, and then shortly after that, the IRS. And it was the biggest ripoff because it was, well, it's kind of like this. Would you like to have the authority to print America's money and then be able to charge interest on that money as you hand it back to America? You say, wait a minute, this is our money. How can you make us pay interest on it? Because you signed the agreement to do so. That's what happened, okay? You remember in Jason Meek's dream, he said he saw that the money changed, and then they were in the streets celebrating Donald Trump as being the president. But it was the word new. It was the new president. And that didn't happen on his inauguration in 2024. It didn't happen then. Okay, so when's it happen? I think that's when it happens. I think right there, number 9, look at number 9. We have not got a new currency yet, but even Dana Coverstone said first he saw the coins disappear, then he saw the paper dollars disappear. This is putting a lot of things together. But the point is, have we got a new currency? Have they thrown the Federal Reserve, the IRS, and the whole SWIFT system out. No, they have not. So I'm going to put an X on it. Then simplicity restored as Americans begin to grow their own food again. Why? Because the whole food system is all messed up. Okay, so if there's no ships moving at sea, everybody's going to be in trouble. Has that happened yet? No, it hasn't. But my point is, the point I'm trying to make today is, are we about to see Israel and America attack Iran? Well, if they do, it won't turn into a full-scale war. I don't think there's a prophecy that guarantees that they don't. They could attack, but it would be something more small-scale. But the point is, we are not. I'll say it, we're not, according to the prophecies. We are not about to see a major war between Israel and America going against the Arabs. We're not going to see that. Will we? Yes. Because Ezekiel 38 and 39, like, I don't know, 6 or 8 times says, and Israel was dwelling safely in the land, all of them. So by the time Armageddon rolls around, all of the Arab nations around Israel have all been vanquished. And apparently Israel pulls out a secret weapon and just decimates them. Well, the number one military in the world is Israel. Why? Because God is back behind them. But he only blesses them according to their sins or lack of it. Same thing with America. Okay, so in summary, I think it's possible that Israel and America could hit Iran, but I do not think it's about to go to a big war. I do not yet. Do I think that there's about to be a Palestinian state? Not according to this. Not this year. We all thought, at least me, I was expecting to see the dollar drop 30%. It could any day now, but apparently to this, no, not yet. Perfect storm. We've seen inflation. We can see how inflation's going up, but it's all not yet. Have you asked Jesus into your heart? Are you living clean? Or there's some little secret things you're doing that you think nobody's seeing, that you need to stop, that you need to ask Jesus to forgive you for? We all sin. But Jesus said, if you confess your sins, he is faithful and just to forgive you your sins and to cleanse you from all unrighteousness. Ask for forgiveness. Ask Jesus into your heart. It's the only way to eternity. When the suitcase nukes, I didn't say if, I said when the suitcase nukes go off, if you want your car to start, if you want your computers and your refrigerators and things like that, anything with a computer chip to work, you want to have one of these from EMPShield.com. EMPShield.com. And they have videos up there. It takes about 10 minutes to put on. It's not complicated at all. And if you use the word prophecy, promo code prophecy, you get a $50 discount, and it helps Prophecy Club.